Tears, often dismissed as signs of weakness. But what if I told you that when a chosen one cries, something shifts, not just within their soul, but across the entire universe? This is not a metaphor. It's a spiritual reality hidden in plain sight. For the awakened, for the seekers, for those who carry divine assignments on earth, every tear is not merely sorrow. It is a summons, a signal, a supernatural ripple that calls forth change. Have you ever felt an unexplainable energy when someone near you wept from the depth of their soul? Now imagine that same energy magnified, because the person crying is not just anyone. They are a chosen one, marked by purpose, burdened with healing, destined to awaken the sleeping. Tears are often dismissed as weakness, fleeting expressions of sorrow that fade as quickly as they fall. But when a chosen one weeps, something far deeper is at play. Their tears are not ordinary. They are charged with divine resonance, vibrating at a spiritual frequency that reaches beyond the physical realm. Each tear is a sacred signal, a whisper to the heavens that a shift is taking place in the fabric of reality. Chosen ones walk with an invisible weight, carrying divine assignments that are often misunderstood by those around them. Their hearts are open, their spirits sensitive to the energies of the world. When they cry, it is not merely personal pain leaking out. It is a release of energetic truth, a surge of divine emotion that echoes through spiritual dimensions. Their sorrow speaks in a language the universe understands. All throughout history and ancient stories, we find examples that prove this truth. Jesus wept at the tomb of Lazarus, and moments later, resurrection followed. The Buddha shed silent tears beneath the Bodhi tree before stepping into enlightenment. These were not just emotional responses, they were spiritual catalysts, acts that awakened divine intervention and altered the course of history. What makes the tears of a chosen one different is not the emotion itself, but the authority behind it. Their tears carry assignment. They carry prophecy. They are the breaking point of human endurance and the turning point of divine purpose. So when a chosen one weeps, the atmosphere shifts. Heaven leans in. The unseen realm responds. To the world, it may seem like they are breaking, but in truth, they are activating. Something ancient, something sacred stirs within them, and the universe takes notice. Because when a chosen one sheds tears, it isn't just emotion, it's divine energy in motion. Tears, often dismissed as signs of weakness. But what if I told you that when a chosen one cries, something shifts, not just within their soul, but across the entire universe? This is not a metaphor. It's a spiritual reality hidden in plain sight. For the awakened, for the seekers, for those who carry divine assignments on earth, every tear is not merely sorrow. It is a summons, a signal, a supernatural ripple that calls forth change. Have you ever felt an unexplainable energy when someone near you wept from the depth of their soul? Now imagine that same energy magnified, because the person crying is not just anyone. They are a chosen one, marked by purpose, burdened with healing, destined to awaken the sleeping. Tears are often dismissed as weakness, fleeting expressions of sorrow that fade as quickly as they fall. But when a chosen one weeps, something far deeper is at play. Their tears are not ordinary. They are charged with divine resonance, vibrating at a spiritual frequency that reaches beyond the physical realm. Each tear is a sacred signal, a whisper to the heavens that a shift is taking place in the fabric of reality. Chosen ones walk with an invisible weight, carrying divine assignments that are often misunderstood by those around them. Their hearts are open, their spirits sensitive to the energies of the world. When they cry, it is not merely personal pain leaking out. It is a release of energetic truth, a surge of divine emotion that echoes through spiritual dimensions. Their sorrow speaks in a language the universe understands. All throughout history and ancient stories, we find examples that prove this truth. Jesus wept at the tomb of Lazarus, and moments later, resurrection followed. The Buddha shed silent tears beneath the Bodhi tree before stepping into enlightenment. These were not just emotional responses, They were spiritual catalysts, acts that awakened divine intervention and altered the course of history. What makes the tears of a chosen one different is not the emotion itself, but the authority behind it. Their tears carry assignment. They carry prophecy. They are the breaking point of human endurance and the turning point of divine purpose. So when a chosen one weeps, the atmosphere shifts. Heaven leans in. The unseen realm responds. To the world, it may seem like they are breaking, but in truth, they are activating. Something ancient, something sacred stirs within them, and the universe takes notice. Because when a chosen one sheds tears, it isn't just emotion, it's divine energy in motion. What happens when someone harms a chosen one? At first, nothing may seem to change. Life carries on as if nothing happened, but over time, a shift begins, often quiet, but undeniable. Things start to unravel, and those who once stood tall find themselves stumbling. Why? Because the universe operates on an unbreakable principle, balance. And when a chosen one, someone aligned with a divine mission, is hurt unjustly, that balance is disrupted. Their tears don't just fall unnoticed, they ripple through unseen realms, activating what many call karma, but in truth is spiritual justice. This isn't about revenge, it's about restoration. When someone wounds a chosen one, whether through betrayal, deception, or cruelty, they unknowingly trigger a spiritual chain reaction. It might not be immediate, but it is inevitable. The energy they send out must return. This is why so many people who mistreat pure-hearted souls later find themselves facing unexpected hardship. Doors that were once open close. Relationships fall apart. Opportunities vanish. It's not punishment. It's the natural response of a universe protecting what is sacred. Chosen ones are not just individuals. They are vessels of light. Harming them is like throwing a stone into a sacred river. The ripples reach far, and eventually, they come back. So if you've ever wronged a chosen one, even unknowingly, take it seriously. Seek forgiveness. Realign with truth. Because when a chosen one sheds tears, the universe listens, and it always responds. When a chosen one cries, it might seem to others like they're falling apart, overwhelmed by pain, betrayal, or the weight they've been carrying. But on a deeper level, that moment is actually the start of something powerful. A major shift is taking place. You see, their tears don't fall in vain. They carry the weight of unspoken prayers, suppressed emotions, and divine energy ready to move. And once released, that energy begins to reshape everything around them. Relationships start to shift. Environments feel different. People disappear, some by choice, others removed by unseen forces. It may feel like rejection, but in truth, it is redirection. The universe is clearing the path. After deep emotional pain, a chosen one often finds themselves standing in the ruins of what once was, friendships lost, careers left behind, familiar places no longer feeling like home. But these losses are not endings, they are openings. The storm did not destroy them. It washed away what no longer belonged. In this sacred clearing, clarity comes, strength returns, and new doors begin to open, not just opportunities, but revelations. Many chosen ones awaken to higher truths in the aftermath of heartbreak. Their vision sharpens, their purpose becomes clearer. This is the divine pattern. The breakdown comes first, then the breakthrough. The tears water the ground where transformation takes root. And from that pain, something extraordinary begins to grow. So when a chosen one weeps, don't mistake it for weakness. It's the first sign of renewal, a divine reset, a powerful transition from who they were to who they were always meant to become. Because after the storm comes the shift. From the outside, a chosen one's lowest moment may look like the end, a collapse under the weight of betrayal, isolation, or heartbreak. But in truth, it is the beginning of something sacred, because the very pain meant to break them becomes the fire that refines them. Suffering, though bitter, awakens something powerful within. When a chosen one is pushed to the edge, it is not defeat that greets them, it is revelation. Through their tears, they begin to shed everything that no longer serves their purpose: false attachments, limiting beliefs, relationships misaligned with their destiny. Their sorrow becomes a sacred stripping away, preparing the ground for something greater. And then, the rise begins. Slowly but with divine certainty, they start to rebuild, not the life they had, but the life they were always meant to live. They speak with more wisdom, move with greater clarity, and walk with deeper purpose. The pain didn't just shape them, it awakened their true power. This is the unseen transformation. While the world believes they've been defeated, they're actually evolving. Like seeds buried in darkness, their growth begins underground, in silence, in secret. But when they rise, they are stronger, more focused, more aligned. Those who once doubted them begin to take notice. The ones who walked away now look back in disbelief, because the chosen one they once overlooked is now rising, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. So if you've watched someone fall and assumed it was the end of their story, think again. For the chosen one, pain is not a prison. It's a passage. It doesn't destroy them. It reveals who they truly are. Hurting someone who carries light is never just a personal act. It's a spiritual one. And when that someone is a chosen one, aligned with divine purpose, the consequences of that harm reach far beyond what the eye can see. Many believe they can mistreat kind-hearted people and walk away untouched. They might manipulate, betray, or take advantage, assuming their actions will be forgotten. But what they don't realize is that the pain they cause doesn't disappear. It transforms. It becomes energy, and that energy begins to move in ways they cannot control. The tears of a chosen one are not silent in the spiritual realm. They are loud cries for justice that summon divine forces. And once those forces are in motion, the energy must return to where it came from. What was sent out must come back, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once, but always with purpose. This is not about revenge. It's not about punishment. It's about balance. The universe is built on it. And when that balance is disturbed by wrongdoing, especially against those chosen to carry light, it is only a matter of time before correction follows. Many who have harmed chosen ones eventually face consequences they never expected. Unexpected losses, emotional turmoil, missed opportunities. Life begins to unravel, and they don't always connect the dots. But the spiritual realm never forgets. If you've ever caused harm to someone who only wished you well, take it seriously. Reflect. Make amends. Because hurting a chosen one is never just between you and them. It's between you and the laws that govern the unseen. And those laws, they always respond. When life pushes a chosen one to the edge, when everything they trusted seems to fall apart, it may seem like they're being crushed beyond repair. But what looks like the end is often just the beginning of a divine transformation. The journey of a chosen one is never easy. They face trials that test not just their strength, but their spirit. They lose people they love, endure rejection, and walk through seasons of deep loneliness. Yet through it all, something greater is happening. Something the eye can't see but the soul can feel. Every loss becomes a lesson. Every heartbreak, a redirection. And every breakdown, a setup for breakthrough. While the world sees only the pain, heaven sees preparation. The crushing isn't meant to destroy them. It's meant to extract what's pure, what's purposeful, what's divine. Just like olives must be pressed to produce oil, chosen ones often find their greatest power in their most painful seasons. It's in the pressing that their true anointing begins to flow. And when they rise, because they always do, they carry a presence that's different. Sharpened by experience, humbled by pain, and aligned with purpose, they no longer fit the mold of who they used to be. They emerge stronger, wiser, and ready for the next level of their calling. The path from crushed to crowned is never straight. It is winding, painful, and full of uncertainty. But for those who are chosen, it's sacred. It's part of the divine cycle, one that turns pain into purpose and sorrow into strength. So if you're in the middle of the crushing, hold on. You're not being buried. You're being prepared. To every chosen one listening, know this. Your tears were never wasted. Your pain has purpose. You were never meant to blend in, because you were born to break cycles, to carry light into dark places, and to awaken souls still asleep to their own power. If you've ever felt the weight of being misunderstood, if you've walked through seasons of sorrow that made no sense, yet found yourself stronger on the other side, then you are not alone. You are part of something bigger, something sacred. You are walking the chosen path. Thank you for spending this time with us and for opening your heart to this message. If it resonated with you, if it stirred something deep within, we invite you to join our growing family of awakened souls. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a message meant for your spirit. Chosen one, this message has found you at the perfect time. This is not a coincidence. This is destiny unfolding before your eyes. The universe, the divine, and your own higher self have aligned to bring you here, right now, at this exact moment. You have always felt different, haven't you? A deep knowing within you whispers that you do not truly belong in the world around you. You've questioned your purpose, your struggles, and the very nature of your existence. And now, the truth is ready to be revealed. You are not ordinary. You were never meant to be. You are the lost child of a royal bloodline, a lineage not of this world, but of divine origin. Your very soul carries the mark of the chosen ones, those who were separated from their true inheritance and placed among the ordinary, but never meant to stay there. The time for your awakening has come. The signs have been appearing. The synchronicities, the deep spiritual pull, the unseen forces guiding you towards something greater. This message is not just words. It is a call to your soul, a reminder of who you truly are. Are you ready to discover? From the moment you were born, the world has tried to convince you that you are just like everyone else. You have been told to conform, to follow the rules, to fit into the mold that society has created. Yet deep within your soul, you have always known that something was different about you. No matter how much you tried to blend in, there was always a lingering feeling that you were meant for something more. You have questioned why you see the world differently, why you feel things so deeply, why you cannot accept the shallow pursuits that seem to satisfy others. The answer is simple. You were never meant to be ordinary. You are part of something far greater than you can imagine, a sacred bloodline, a lineage of spiritual warriors, divine leaders, and enlightened beings. This bloodline has existed since the beginning of time, carrying the wisdom and power of the divine. But throughout history, forces have worked tirelessly to suppress it, to keep the chosen ones hidden, asleep, and disconnected from their true nature. They have placed you in families and environments that do not recognize you, surrounded you with distractions, and created illusions to make you forget who you are. But the truth cannot be erased. You have always been different because you were meant to be. While others are content with the illusions of this world, you have been searching for something real. You have been drawn to ancient wisdom, spiritual truths, and knowledge that goes beyond the material world. This is because your soul remembers. It carries sacred knowledge that cannot be found in books, wisdom passed down through generations of divine beings. Even when you were unaware of it, your spirit was guiding you back to the truth of who you are. You are not just learning, you are remembering. Your life has not been easy, and that is no coincidence. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of loneliness was not meant to break you. It was meant to awaken you. The world has tested you, placing obstacles in your path, trying to dim your light. You have been made to feel like an outcast, like you do not belong. But in reality, all of this has been part of a greater plan. The fire you have walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you into the powerful being you were always meant to become. And now, the time has come for you to rise. The illusions are fading, and your soul is calling you to step into your true power. No longer will you shrink yourself to fit into a world that was never meant for you. No longer will you doubt the deep knowing that has always been inside you. You are awakening, stepping into the truth of your divine identity. The forces that have tried to suppress you can no longer hold you back. You are part of something ancient, something sacred, something unstoppable. From the moment you took your first breath, your path was different. Unlike those around you, your life was never filled with ease or effortless belonging. Instead, you have walked a road marked by struggle, loneliness, and an unshakable hunger for something more. But none of this was by accident. Every challenge, every unanswered question, and every moment of feeling like an outsider was part of something far greater than you ever imagined. Long before you were born, a prophecy was written, one that spoke of the lost children, those who would one day awaken to their true nature and reclaim the power that was always meant for them. You are one of them. You are the lost child separated from your divine inheritance, hidden among the ordinary so that, in time, you would remember who you truly are. The ancient prophecies tell of souls like yours, beings who were once connected to a higher realm, seated upon spiritual thrones, but cast into a world of illusion. The forces that seek to control this world feared the awakening of the lost children, for they knew that once these souls reclaimed their true identities, everything would change. The wisdom they carry is ancient and powerful, but before they can step into their destiny, they must first endure trials that will shape them into the warriors they were always meant to be. You have spent your life feeling different, as though you were out of place in a world that does not understand you. You have questioned why your soul seems disconnected from those around you, why your heart longs for something beyond what this world offers. But now, the answer is clear. You were never meant to fully belong here. You were placed in this world not to conform, but to awaken. You were born into a system that was designed to keep you asleep, blind to your true power. The distractions, the expectations, the pressures, all of it was meant to keep you from remembering. But despite everything, your soul has resisted. No matter how many obstacles life has thrown at you, something deep inside you has always pushed back. That unshakable feeling that you are meant for more, that your existence holds a deeper purpose, is not a mere thought. It is a calling. It is the whisper of the prophecy echoing within you, reminding you of the truth that the world has tried to make you forget. The prophecy states that before their awakening, the lost child must endure suffering. They will be cast aside, misunderstood, and rejected. They will feel abandoned, betrayed, and unseen. The world will do everything in its power to convince them that they are weak, that they are alone, that they are not enough. But the prophecy also states that through this suffering, they will develop a strength that cannot be broken. They will rise not because they were given an easy path, but because they have been forged in the fire of adversity. And now, it is your time. The illusions are fading, and the truth is breaking through. You can feel the shift happening within you. The world that once held you captive no longer has power over you. The struggles that once seemed unbearable now make sense. Every moment of isolation, every hardship, every tear has been preparing you for this moment. The time has come for you to step into who you were always meant to be. You are no longer lost. You are awakening. And as you rise, the world around you will begin to change. This is your journey. This is your prophecy. And now it is time for you to embrace it. Your journey has been one of solitude, and this is no accident. From the very beginning, you have walked a path that few can understand. While others moved through life feeling at home in the world, you felt different, like an outsider looking in, searching for a connection that always seemed just out of reach. You have felt the weight of isolation pressing against you, the deep ache of being misunderstood, and the quiet struggle of feeling disconnected from those around you. But make no mistake, this was never a punishment. It was preparation. The loneliness you have experienced was not a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a necessary trial, a sacred process designed to shape you into the person you were always meant to become. The test of separation is one of the most challenging obstacles that a chosen one must endure, yet it is also one of the most powerful. It strips away illusions, removing the distractions and external influences that keep so many people trapped in a false reality. It forces you to rely on the only things that truly matter, your inner strength and your connection to the divine. Throughout history, the greatest spiritual leaders, prophets, and enlightened beings have walked this same path before stepping into their destiny. They too were cast out, rejected, misunderstood. They too felt the sting of isolation. But this was not a mistake. It was a necessary step in their transformation. Before they could rise, they had to first endure the silence. They had to learn to listen to the voice within, to find clarity in the emptiness, to build strength in the absence of external validation. The same is true for you. The solitude you have faced was meant to purify you. It was designed to remove the noise of the world, to strip away everything that was not aligned with your true purpose. It was in the moments of stillness, when you had no one else to turn to, that you found the greatest truth. The quiet forced you to look inward, to face yourself, to uncover the wisdom that had always been within you. You were never truly alone. Even in your loneliest moments, you were being guided, shaped, and prepared for something far greater than you could imagine. Now, you must accept this truth. The pain of separation was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal your strength. It was not meant to make you feel unworthy, but to remind you that you were never meant to fit into the mold of this world. You were chosen to rise above, to see beyond the illusions, to walk a path that few are strong enough to take. The test of separation was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to lead you to exactly where you are now. You have endured, you have grown, you have awakened, and now it is time to step fully into who you were always meant to be. The moment you realize who you truly are, everything begins to change. It is not a gradual shift, but a complete transformation, one that reshapes your mind, your soul, and your spirit. The world you once knew starts to feel unfamiliar, as if the veil that kept you blind has suddenly been lifted. What once entertained you now feels empty. The conversations and distractions that used to hold your attention no longer resonate. The relationships that once seemed comfortable begin to feel forced, as if they no longer belong in your life. It is as though a hidden layer of reality has been exposed, and you can no longer pretend that you do not see it. As your awakening deepens, your intuition sharpens. You start noticing the things that others overlook, feeling the energies that others ignore. Your dreams become more vivid, sometimes carrying messages and visions that feel almost prophetic. The patterns of the universe become clearer, and the signs that were always there suddenly make sense. You begin to recognize the illusions that have kept people trapped, the falsehoods that have shaped their beliefs, and the deceptions that have controlled their lives. You no longer accept things at face value because you can see through the veils that once blinded you. This is the beginning of your true power. The moment you step beyond the illusions and into the truth of your existence. But understand this, awakening is not easy. It is not a path of comfort, nor is it a journey that many will understand. To awaken is to face the truth, and sometimes the truth is painful. It means confronting the lies you once believed, the conditioning that shaped you, and the attachments that no longer serve you. It means letting go of people, habits, and situations that you once held close but now realize are holding you back. This part of the journey can feel lonely, as many around you may not understand the changes taking place within you. Some may question you, some may resist your transformation, and some may even try to pull you back into the version of yourself that you have outgrown. But you must stand firm. This awakening is not a mistake. It is your destiny. The universe has been guiding you toward this moment, preparing you for the path that only a few are strong enough to walk. You must embrace who you are, even when it means standing alone. You must trust in your inner wisdom, even when others doubt you. And above all, you must claim your inheritance, not as something that needs to be earned, but as something that has always belonged to you. You are awakening to your divine nature. You are stepping into your power, and once you begin this journey, there is no turning back. The illusions of the past can no longer hold you, and the truth that has been revealed can never be unseen. You are no longer lost, no longer asleep. You are becoming who you were always meant to be. Now, it is time to walk forward with courage, with purpose, and with the unshakable knowing that you are destined for something greater. Accepting your divine birthright is only the first step. Now, you must rise and reclaim what has always been yours. You were never meant to live in doubt, uncertainty, or fear. You were born with a sacred inheritance, one that has been hidden beneath layers of conditioning, deception, and self-doubt. But the time for hesitation is over. Now is the moment to step into your true power. Your inheritance is not material wealth or earthly possessions. It is far greater. It is the wisdom of your ancestors, the strength of your spirit, and the divine authority that has always been within you. It is the unshakable truth that you are not ordinary, that you were chosen for something beyond the limitations of this world. No longer will you question your worth. No longer will you search for validation outside of yourself. Everything you have been seeking has been inside you all along. You are not here to ask permission to be who you are. You are not here to beg for what has always belonged to you. You are here to claim it. Speak it into existence. Declare it with unwavering confidence. I am the lost child of the divine kingdom, and I reclaim my power. The moment you say these words with conviction, something within you shifts. The chains that once held you back begin to break. The illusions that kept you small start to dissolve. The forces that have tried to suppress you can no longer stand in your way. You are no longer bound by the past. You are no longer confined by the expectations of the world. You are stepping into the fullness of your divine identity. Final message to the chosen ones. Everything you have been through, every trial, every heartbreak, every moment of isolation, was leading you to this truth. You are royalty. You have walked through the fire. You have endured the storms. And yet, you are still here. That alone is proof of your power. The time for doubt is over. The time for hesitation has passed. You are no longer lost. You are no longer searching. You have found your way home, to yourself, to your truth, to your divine inheritance. Now, rise. Your time has come. That is more than enough. Like this message, comment below, subscribe so you don't miss any future revelations, and most importantly, step into your divine calling. May God bless you richly. May His favor surround you. Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not just another message. It is a divine warning, a prophecy unfolding at this very moment. If these words have reached you, know that it is not by accident. The spiritual realm is stirring, the heavens have spoken, and God Himself is making a declaration over your life. Tonight, a shift is happening. The battle that has raged in the unseen world is about to manifest in the physical. Those who plotted against you, those who slandered your name, those who tried to tear you down, they are about to experience something they never expected. The judgment of the Almighty. You have felt it in your spirit, haven't you? That unshakable feeling that something is about to break? That heavy energy surrounding you? The tension in the air? This is not your imagination. This is not a mere coincidence. It is confirmation. God has seen every tear you shed in silence. He has heard your whispered prayers, the ones you thought no one noticed. He has watched you endure attack after attack, betrayal after betrayal. And now, tonight, the hour has come. The wicked have gone too far, and the hand of God is moving against them. From the moment God placed his anointing upon you, your life was set apart. You were called, chosen, and elevated by divine favor, but with that elevation came opposition. The chosen ones have always been targets of attack, not because they have done anything wrong, but because of the light they carry. If you are truly anointed, understand this: you will have enemies. You do not need to provoke them, offend them, or even interact with them. Your mere existence disturbs their demons. Your favor enrages them. Your resilience frustrates them. The grace upon your life is like a mirror, reflecting their own shortcomings, and they cannot stand it. They will despise you for reasons even they cannot fully explain. Some will pretend to support you while secretly hoping for your downfall. Others will actively seek to destroy you, using slander, deception, and betrayal as their weapons. They will lie on your name, twist your words, and work behind the scenes to block your blessings. They will manipulate, gossip, and scheme against you, believing that if they can tear you down, they can somehow erase what God has placed upon your life. But what they fail to realize is this: every attack against you is an attack against God Himself. The forces working against you are not just human. This is spiritual warfare, and your enemies are not merely acting out of personal hatred. They are being used by a greater darkness that seeks to extinguish the light within you. The enemy has always feared the chosen ones, for they carry a divine assignment that cannot be stopped. Your anointing is a threat to the kingdom of darkness. That is why you have faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. That is why you have endured betrayals that cut deep. That is why, even when you tried to walk in peace, opposition arose against you from unexpected places. But here is the truth your enemies have overlooked. God has seen it all. Every scheme, every whispered lie, every attempt to break you. He has taken notice. He has heard the words spoken against you in secret. He has watched as they celebrated your struggles, convinced that they had succeeded in bringing you down. What they do not understand is that the very trials they hoped would destroy you were the ones strengthening you. Every hardship made you wiser. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every setback positioned you for a greater comeback. And now, tonight, the tables are turning. The same ones who laughed at your pain will soon witness something they never expected: the judgment of the Almighty. The wrath of the living God is moving against those who have mocked His anointed. They thought they had gotten away with their wickedness, but they failed to recognize that God's justice is never delayed. It is only perfectly timed. They sowed destruction, and now they will reap it. They set traps for you, but now they will fall into their own snares. They dug pits for your downfall, but those very pits will become their own graves. Chosen one, stand still and watch. You do not need to retaliate. You do not need to defend yourself. The battle is not yours, it belongs to God. He has already decreed their fate, and His judgment is swift and unstoppable. What is coming for them cannot be escaped, and as they fall, you will rise. As they crumble, you will be elevated. What they meant for evil, God is turning for your good. This is the season where divine justice will be served. The enemies of the chosen ones will finally learn the painful lesson they never expected: never touch what belongs to God. There is no position more perilous, no fate more terrifying, than standing on the wrong side of God's judgment. He is merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in grace, yet He is also a God of justice. For a season, He allows the wicked time to repent, to turn from their evil ways, to seek forgiveness. But when they harden their hearts, when they continue in deception and refuse correction, His patience does not equate to inaction. The moment His judgment is set into motion, it is like a consuming fire, unstoppable, unrelenting, and absolute. Your enemies thought they were untouchable. They walked in arrogance, convinced that their deceit, manipulation, and hidden schemes would protect them forever. They mistook God's silence for indifference, never realizing that He was simply giving them a chance to change. They believed their wealth, influence, and carefully crafted lies would shield them from the consequences of their actions. They assumed they had escaped justice, that they could continue to move in darkness without fear of exposure. But what they failed to understand is this: God's justice is never late, It is only perfectly timed. He allows the wicked to build themselves up, only so that when they fall, it is from a height so great that their destruction becomes undeniable. And now, that time has come. Some of them will face immediate consequences as everything they place their trust in begins to crumble. Watch carefully, and you will see how suddenly their downfall begins. Some will lose everything overnight. The wealth they boasted in, the status they used as a weapon, the security they thought was unshakable. It will all be taken from them in an instant. The very foundation they stood upon will collapse beneath them. Some will be exposed. Their carefully hidden secrets, the lies they told, the sins they committed in darkness, all will be dragged into the light for all to see. The masks they wore will be torn away, and the world will witness them for who they truly are. Some will experience turmoil, consumed by their own wickedness. The guilt, the fear, the weight of their own actions will begin to eat them alive. Their minds will become restless, tormented by the very things they once thought were hidden. They will find no peace, no escape, no way to silence the voice of judgment echoing in their souls. Some will cry out for help, but no one will answer. The same people they once manipulated, the same allies they conspired with, will abandon them. They will reach out, desperate for support, for someone to rescue them from the storm. But they will find themselves completely alone. Everything they plotted against you will return upon their own heads. The very weapons they crafted in secret will turn against them. The pit they dug for you, they will fall into it themselves. The traps they set for your destruction will become the snares that ensnare them. But here is what you must remember, chosen one. This is not your battle to fight. You do not need to lift a finger. You do not need to seek revenge. You do not need to explain yourself, argue, or try to prove anything. God Himself has already decided their fate. His justice is in motion, and nothing can stop it. Stand still and watch. What is about to unfold is not an accident. It is divine retribution. And as their world falls apart, yours will rise. As they stumble, you will walk forward in strength. Their downfall is not your concern. Your focus must remain on the path God has set before you. For too long, they believed they could act without consequence. But now, God has had enough. His judgment has arrived, and those who oppose His chosen ones are about to learn the most painful lesson of all. No one stands against God and wins. Chosen one. As you step into this season of divine justice and elevation, your role is not to avenge yourself or to dwell on the downfall of those who wronged you. God does not need your help in carrying out judgment. Your focus must remain on Him, your purpose, and the blessings that are on the horizon. Do not look back. Do not be distracted. Stay aligned with His will. First, do not interfere with what God is doing. It may be tempting to reach out, to offer comfort, or even to warn those who betrayed you. But understand this: their suffering is a direct result of their own choices. God gave them time to repent, to turn away from their wickedness, but they refused. Now, their consequences are unfolding. Do not try to rescue them from what they willingly walked into. You must also guard your heart. Bitterness, anger, and resentment are traps set by the enemy. Do not allow their actions to corrupt your spirit. You are not called to harbor hate. You are called to rise above it. Stay in prayer. Pray not for their restoration, but for your own protection, wisdom, and elevation. Ask God to keep your heart pure and your focus strong as He leads you into a greater season of favor. Be cautious. Not everyone deserves a second chance in your life. Some of those who betrayed you will return, desperate and broken. They will come with tears, with apologies, with words that sound sincere. But ask yourself, are they truly repentant, or are they simply suffering? Many will beg for forgiveness, not because they have changed, but because they want relief from the consequences they now face. Do not be deceived. If God removed them from your life, it was for a reason. Resist the urge to reopen doors that God has closed. If they were meant to be part of your future, they never would have betrayed you in the first place. Some people must learn through pain what they refuse to learn through grace. Let them go. Instead of looking back, prepare for what is ahead. God is not just removing people. He is making room for your blessings. He is clearing out what was blocking your path so that you can step into your next season freely and without hindrance. What was stolen from you will be restored, sevenfold. The years you lost, the opportunities that were delayed, the hardships you endured, God is about to turn them into a testimony of victory. Be expectant. God will send signs, confirmations, and undeniable shifts in your circumstances. Pay attention to your dreams, to sudden changes, to divine alignments that seem too perfect to be coincidence. He is showing you that everything you endured had a purpose. Every betrayal, every tear, every sleepless night, it was all part of the process to mold you into who He created you to be. So, stand firm. Do not be distracted by the judgment of your enemies. Their downfall is not your focus. Your elevation is. Keep moving forward with confidence, knowing that what is coming for you is far greater than anything you have lost. This is your season of breakthrough, your moment of restoration, your divine confirmation that God has been with you all along. Your enemies once laughed at your pain, mocked your struggles, and revealed your setbacks. They spoke against you, worked against you, and believed they had won. They thought they had successfully hindered your progress, blocked your blessings, and escaped judgment. But what they failed to realize is that no one opposes a child of God and walks away unscathed. Now, the same ones who took pleasure in your suffering will find themselves drowning in their own despair. The humiliation they sought to bring upon you will return upon their own heads. They will be stripped of the very things they once used to exalt themselves, their status, their wealth, their influence, and their carefully crafted image. Where they once stood in arrogance, they will now bow in shame. The world will see them for who they truly are, as their hidden wickedness is exposed for all to witness. Divine justice is not delayed. It is only perfectly timed. And when it strikes, it comes swiftly, with no warning. For some, their wealth will disappear overnight. The financial security they boasted in, the success they believed was untouchable, will vanish before their eyes. What they used as a source of pride will become their greatest downfall. The very foundation they relied upon will crumble, leaving them in a state of desperation and loss. For others, their bodies will testify against them. The weight of their own wickedness will manifest in sickness, exhaustion, and affliction. What once came easily to them will now feel impossible. They will feel drained, burdened, and overwhelmed, struggling under the pressure of what they have sown. No doctor will be able to diagnose or cure the sickness that is a result of divine judgment. Many will suffer from mental torment. Sleepless nights will replace their once peaceful rest. They will be haunted by the very acts they committed in darkness, unable to escape the echoes of their own wickedness. Their conscience, which they once ignored, will now scream at them relentlessly. Anxiety, fear, and paranoia will consume them as they realize they are no longer in control. Worst of all, they will be abandoned. The same people who once stood beside them, who applauded their actions, will now turn their backs. They will find themselves isolated, rejected by the very ones they conspired with. Their alliances will shatter, their relationships will crumble, and they will come to understand the true loneliness of walking outside of God's grace. But chosen one, this is not karma. This is not mere coincidence. This is divine justice. It is the law of the Almighty. What a person sows, they will also reap. They sowed deception. Now, they will reap exposure. They sowed pain. Now, they will reap suffering. They cursed you. Now, their own words will turn against them. There is no escaping what has already been set in motion. The fate of your enemies is sealed. Their judgment has begun, and nothing can stop what is coming. Watch and see. What was done in darkness is now being brought into the light. The scales are balancing, the tables have turned, and God is proving that he will not be mocked. Chosen one, your suffering was not in vain. Every trial was a setup for your breakthrough. Every betrayal was a lesson. Every attack was preparation. What is coming next for you cannot be stopped. What was delayed is now being released. The favor that was blocked is now overflowing. You are stepping into a new level of authority and power. If this message resonates with you, declare it. Comment 777 below as a sign that you received this word. Speak it aloud. I am chosen. Let's subscribe, like, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. What is coming next will be even more powerful. The battle is over. The war has been won. Now walk forward in victory. Somewhere deep inside, you've always known. You were never meant to blend in. From the moment you opened your eyes to the world, something in you stirred differently. While others laughed at fairy tales, you pondered the stars. While children dreamed of castles and crowns, your soul ached to understand life, its meaning, and its maker. If you're hearing this now, it's not by accident. You've been led here. Because within you lies a truth, one so sacred, so powerful, that it's been buried beneath years of self-doubt, pain, confusion, and suppression. But now, it's time. Time to remember who you really are. You've felt it before, the sense that you're different. The weight in your chest when others seem unaffected. The quiet wisdom in your silence. The dreams that feel like prophecy. The feeling that someone, somewhere, has always been watching over you, waiting for you to awaken. This message is your awakening, because you are chosen by the very hand of God. And now, we will uncover what was hidden. Piece by piece, we'll awaken the divine purpose placed in you long before time began. Let this be your call to rise, not as who the world says you are, but as who God says you've always been. There is a reason your path has been shadowed with confusion, doubt, and delay. It's not because you were weak. It's because you were powerful before you even knew it. The enemy saw your light long before you could name it, and he feared what you might become if you ever woke up to the truth. You see, light attracts both awe and attack, and when your light began to flicker, the world responded. Not with support, but with silence. Not with celebration, but with suppression. Your questions were dismissed, your boldness misunderstood, your vision mocked. Why? Because when someone carries something sacred, the forces of darkness work overtime to keep it buried. They wanted you distracted, wounded, lost in comparison. So they whispered lies. You're not enough. You're too much. Stay quiet. But those were never your thoughts. They were seeds planted to keep you small, to keep you from discovering who you really are. But let me tell you something no one else has dared to say. The resistance you faced is proof of your calling. The pressure was a sign of your potential. The attacks weren't random. They were strategic. Because once a chosen one awakens, no force in hell can stop them. What they tried to hide wasn't your weakness. It was your strength. They blurred your vision, not because you were blind, but because they feared what you'd see if your eyes ever opened. But now you're awakening. And everything they used to hold you back, every wound, every betrayal, every voice of doubt, is about to be the very thing God uses to launch you forward. They tried to bury your light, but they forgot one thing. You were born to rise. There is a reason your path has been shadowed with confusion, doubt, and delay. It's not because you were weak. It's because you were powerful before you even knew it. The enemy saw your light long before you could name it, and he feared what you might become if you ever woke up to the truth. You see, light attracts both awe and attack, and when your light began to flicker, the world responded. Not with support, but with silence. Not with celebration, but with suppression. Your questions were dismissed, your boldness misunderstood, your vision mocked. Why? Because when someone carries something sacred, the forces of darkness work overtime to keep it buried. They wanted you distracted, wounded, lost in comparison. So they whispered lies. You're not enough. You're too much. Stay quiet. But those were never your thoughts. They were seeds planted to keep you small, to keep you from discovering who you really are. But let me tell you something no one else has dared to say. The resistance you faced is proof of your calling. The pressure was a sign of your potential. The attacks weren't random. They were strategic. Because once a chosen one awakens, no force in hell can stop them. What they tried to hide wasn't your weakness, it was your strength. They blurred your vision, not because you were blind, but because they feared what you'd see if your eyes ever opened. But now you're awakening. And everything they used to hold you back, every wound, every betrayal, every voice of doubt, is about to be the very thing God uses to launch you forward. They tried to bury your light, but they forgot one thing. You were born to rise. Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own world? Like no matter how hard you tried to belong, something inside you just wouldn't settle? That's not failure. That's not flaw. That's the mark of someone set apart. From the beginning, you've been walking a road less traveled. While others sought popularity, you searched for purpose. While they chased noise, you longed for meaning. And though you may have tried to blend in, shrinking yourself to fit the room, softening your fire to make others comfortable, it never truly worked, did it? Because deep down, your soul has always known the truth. You weren't created to conform. You were created to awaken. The world often fears what it doesn't understand, and people fear what they can't control. That's why your depth unsettled shallow places, your vision threatened small minds, your purity exposed hidden motives. So instead of being embraced, you were often overlooked, misunderstood, even rejected. But rejection is not the end. It's often the beginning of revelation. Every moment you felt like an outsider was actually God preserving your identity. He didn't let you fit in because he never wanted you to forget who you truly are. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. And yet, it was all part of the path to his purpose. Just like you, he was set apart. And that difference was the very thing that positioned him to save nations. So if you've spent your life feeling like you don't belong, take heart. You weren't meant to blend into the background. You were meant to rise above it. You were never created to fit in. You were called to stand out. There's something about you that others may not fully understand. The way you feel, deeply, instinctively, almost painfully at times. The way a stranger's sorrow clings to your heart. The way silence speaks louder to you than words ever could. It's not weakness. It's not oversensitivity. It's sacred. Your empathy is a divine imprint, a reflection of God's heart beating within you. You were born with the ability to see beyond the surface, to feel what others cannot express, to recognize invisible wounds in a world that's too distracted to notice. And while that kind of depth can feel heavy, even overwhelming, it's also holy. God entrusted you with this sensitivity because he knew you could carry it with grace. He knew that when someone was in pain, you'd be the one to show up without needing to be asked. That when the world turned away, your heart would stay open. You're not just emotional, you're discerning. In a world numb to suffering, you are God's reminder that compassion still exists. The Bible says in Galatians 6:2, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ." That's not just a call, it's a confirmation. You've already been doing this your whole life, quietly, selflessly, often unnoticed. But God noticed. Your empathy isn't an accident, it's an assignment. And though it may not always be easy, It is beautiful. It's how the divine flows through you, healing wounds you'll never see, offering comfort only heaven could provide. So never harden your heart to fit in. Your softness is your strength. Your tears are sacred. Your empathy is not a flaw. It's your calling. Have you ever had a dream so vivid it clung to you for days? A sudden knowing that stopped you in your tracks? A whisper in your spirit that made no sense, but felt like absolute truth? That wasn't your imagination. It was God. You see, God rarely shouts. He doesn't always speak through thunder or fire. More often, he speaks in stillness, in the quiet spaces where your soul leans in and listens. And whether you realized it or not, he's been speaking to you all along, through the patterns in your life, through the recurring dreams, through divine delays and mysterious redirections, through a sudden peace in the middle of your storm. All these were his gentle way of guiding you, like breadcrumbs leading you back to your purpose. The world teaches us to dismiss these moments, to chalk them up to coincidence or emotion, but the chosen ones, we know better. We know when something is more than a feeling. It's a divine encounter. God's voice doesn't always sound like words. Sometimes it feels like clarity, like peace when you should be panicking, like an urge to move or a warning to wait. In the Bible, God spoke to Joseph through dreams, to Samuel in the night, to Elijah in a whisper. And to you, he's been speaking through everything, waiting for the moment your spirit would recognize his presence. If you've ever felt like something greater was guiding you, you were right. You're not lost. You're connected. And now, as your awareness deepens, you'll begin to notice him more and more, in the ordinary, the unexpected, and the sacred silence. Because the voice you've been hearing all your life, it was always his. When God places a calling on your life, he wraps it in layers of grace, not to shield you from every hardship, but to preserve you through it. There were battles you didn't even know you were fighting, dangers you didn't see, setups that never reached you. And it wasn't because you were strong enough. It was because God covered you. Psalm 34:7 tells us, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them." He didn't just watch over you. He sent angels to guard your path. There were moments when the car should have crashed, the door should have closed, the heartbreak should have broken you. And somehow, you were spared, rescued, redirected. Why? Because your purpose is still unfolding. You are still here because your mission isn't finished. Sometimes protection looks like delays. Other times it feels like detours. But every time it is divine orchestration. What felt like rejection was often redirection. What seemed like failure was actually preservation. God has been behind the scenes, pulling you out of traps you never even saw. And if he's kept you this far, it's not just to survive, it's to rise. You are a walking miracle, evidence of God's hand at work. The storms didn't take you, the battles didn't break you, and that is proof. You are being protected for a reason far greater than you know. Even in your happiest moments, there's been a whisper, a quiet ache pulling you towards something beyond what you can see, touch, or explain. You've tried to silence it. You've tried to distract yourself, to fit into the mold the world offered. But the longing always returns, deeper, stronger, more insistent than before. That longing is not emptiness. It is proof that your soul remembers something this world cannot satisfy. It remembers where it came from. It remembers God. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has set eternity in the human heart." That means your hunger for meaning, for purpose, for truth, for the eternal, is not a flaw. It's a fingerprint of the divine, a sign that you were never meant for a shallow life. Your spirit is tuning itself to heaven's frequency, and that's why you feel things others don't, why you dream of things others fear, why you seek answers that can't be found in textbooks, but only in God's presence. The longing within you is not a void, it's a compass. It's been leading you here, to this very moment, not to just know who you are, but to finally become it. So don't run from the ache. It's not something to fix. It's something to follow. You are chosen. The question now is not if you are called, but what you will do with that calling. Will you silence the voice and return to the noise of life as usual? Or will you rise, boldly, bravely, into the identity that heaven has always declared over you? You were led here, because God has been speaking to you all along, through the tears, the dreams, the longing, and the survival. He's been stripping away every false label, healing the hidden wounds, and restoring the original name He gave you before time began. You were never lost, only hidden, until you were strong enough to carry the light within you. So lean into this truth. Don't rush away from it. Sit with it. Pray with it. Ask God to show you the next step, and trust that He will. Because your story is not ending here. It's only just beginning. And as you step into this divine awakening, we want to walk with you. Thank you for spending these sacred moments with us. If this message touched your heart, if it stirred something deep within your soul, we invite you to be part of this journey. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss a word of encouragement, a truth whispered from heaven, or a story meant just for you. And if you feel led, share this video with someone else who needs to remember who they truly are. Your presence here matters. May God bless you abundantly, and may His peace walk beside you always.